Every legend begins somewhere, and for Marilyn Monroe, that story started far from the glittering lights of Hollywood. She was born on June 1, 1926, in Los Angeles, California, as Norma Jeane Mortenson. Her mother, Gladys Pearl Baker, battled severe mental health issues and was unable to care for her. Norma Jeane's childhood was shaped by instability. She lived in foster homes, with guardians, and even in an orphanage. Those early years were marked by loneliness and longing, yet they forged in her a resilience that would later define her journey. At just 16, to avoid returning to the orphanage, she married James Dougherty, a neighbor and factory worker. While the marriage offered stability, it lacked passion. During World War II, while her husband served overseas, Norma Jeane worked in a munitions factory. It was there that a photographer discovered her. Soon, she was modeling, her striking beauty and vibrant smile capturing attention. In 1946, she signed a contract with 20th Century Fox. But Hollywood wanted reinvention. Norma Jeane Mortenson transformed into Marilyn Monroe, a name that carried both sophistication and allure. From that moment, a star was born. Marilyn's early career began with small roles, but her magnetic presence was undeniable. Studio executives noticed how the camera adored her. She dyed her hair platinum blonde, adopting the signature look that would forever define her image. In the early 1950s, she appeared in films like The Asphalt Jungle and All About Eve, small parts but impactful ones. Audiences wanted more. Soon after, she starred in Niagara, 1953, where her sensuality and charisma exploded on screen. This was Marilyn Monroe fully realized. That same year, she starred in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, opposite Jane Russell. Her performance of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend became iconic, capturing the glamour, humor, and sex appeal that defined her. Followed by How to Marry a Millionaire, Marilyn was no longer just an actress. She was a phenomenon. Marilyn Monroe was not just a movie star, she became the embodiment of glamour and sexuality in the 1950s. Her pin-up photos adorned soldiers' lockers during the Korean War, making her the dream girl of an entire generation. Her walk, often described as a wiggle, her breathy voice, and her playful innocence combined with sensuality created a persona unlike any other. In 1953, she posed nude for a calendar shoot, images taken before she was famous. Rather than deny it, she admitted openly that she had posed for money during hard times. Instead of damaging her career, the honesty only increased her appeal. She became the first Playmate of the Month in Hugh Hefner's Playboy magazine, cementing her role as the ultimate sex symbol. Hollywood loved to market her as the blonde bombshell, but Marilyn was aware of the image. She once famously said, "Hollywood is a place where they'll pay you $1,000 for a kiss and 50 cents for your soul." She balanced on a fine line, embracing her glamour while yearning to be respected as a serious actress. Marilyn's personal life was as fascinating to the public as her films. She married 3 times, each relationship making headlines. Her first marriage, to James Dougherty, ended as her career began to rise. In 1954, she married baseball legend Joe DiMaggio. Their union was one of the most talked about in America. Yet, DiMaggio was uncomfortable with Marilyn's public image as a sex symbol. Tensions came to a head during the filming of The 7-Year Itch, when crowds gathered to watch her skirt famously blow up over a subway grate. The moment became iconic, but it ended their marriage. Marilyn's third marriage was to playwright Arthur Miller in 1956. Here was Hollywood's most glamorous woman with one of America's most celebrated intellectuals. Yet, their relationship was complicated. Marilyn longed for stability and understanding, but she often felt betrayed by Miller's writings about her. They divorced in 1961. Beyond her marriages, rumors swirled about her relationships with powerful men, including President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert Kennedy. Though never officially confirmed, her sultry performance of Happy Birthday, Mr. President in 1962 only fueled the speculation. Marilyn's love life reflected her vulnerability. She craved love and acceptance, but fame often turned her relationships into spectacles. Despite personal struggles, Marilyn's career flourished. She starred in some of the most celebrated films of her era. The 7-Year Itch, 1955, gave us the unforgettable subway great scene, a defining image of 20th century pop culture. Bus Stop, 1956, showcased her depth as an actress. Critics who once dismissed her as just a blonde bombshell began to acknowledge her talent. Her crowning achievement came with Some Like It Hot, 1959, directed by Billy Wilder. The film is still considered one of the greatest comedies ever made. Marilyn's performance as Sugar Cane was charming, vulnerable, and hilarious. She won a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Comedy, proving she was more than her image. Yet, behind the glamour, she often struggled with punctuality, anxiety, and dependence on medication. Filming was sometimes chaotic, but on screen, she always delivered magic. Fame had its cost. Marilyn battled depression, insomnia, and dependence on alcohol and barbiturates. She often felt trapped between her public persona and private self. The studio system exploited her image, typecasting her in roles that emphasized sexuality rather than substance. Determined to fight back, she founded her own production company, Marilyn Monroe Productions, in 1955. It was a bold move, showing she was not just a star but also a businesswoman. Still, her insecurities haunted her. She feared abandonment, struggled with low self-esteem, and longed for stability that seemed just out of reach. Colleagues described her as both infuriatingly difficult and heartbreakingly fragile. She was late to sets, forgot lines, yet when the camera rolled, her brilliance was undeniable. On August 5, 1962, the world woke up to shocking news. Marilyn Monroe had been found dead in her Los Angeles home at just 36 years old. The official cause was listed as a probable suicide from an overdose of barbiturates. Her death fueled endless speculation. Was it accidental? Was there foul play? Conspiracy theories linked her to the Kennedy family, to the mafia, to the pressures of Hollywood itself. To this day, questions remain unanswered. What is certain is this: the world lost one of its brightest stars far too soon. Marilyn Monroe was gone, but her legend was only beginning. More than 60 years later, Marilyn Monroe remains one of the most recognized and beloved figures in the world. Her image graces posters, fashion collections, and art pieces. Andy Warhol's famous pop art immortalized her. Designers, musicians, and filmmakers continue to draw inspiration from her style and spirit. She was more than just beauty. She was a trailblazer who confronted Hollywood's exploitation, who fought for better roles, and who showed vulnerability in a world that demanded perfection. Her legacy is complex, a symbol of glamour and sexuality, but also of fragility and resilience. She captured the contradictions of being human. Marilyn once said, "I don't mind living in a man's world, as long as I can be a woman in it." Today, Marilyn Monroe is not just remembered as a movie star, but as an eternal icon of the silver screen, forever radiant, forever timeless.